So today we're going to talk about screw ups because everybody screws up. It's how you handle it, is how management sees if you are just a cog in the machine or if you are a person that is going to solve those problems. Because the first problems you need to solve are the ones you create yourself. So let's talk about the time I deleted like 500,000 records accidentally from the production database. Yeah, it was about 4:30 in the afternoon. We were all about ready to call it a day. I was doing my last little bit of testing on a piece of code that I was about ready to commit to source control, and I thought I'd test it one more time. These were back in the heady days where if you were doing a search or anything, we did it in the production database because it had the right data. Our test databases didn't at the time have exact copies of production. So here I was working on a record management screen that allowed for record deletion, and junior developer, I screwed up the SQL. And instead of deleting one record, I deleted about 500,000. And you would think, wow, did they fire you? Well, no. Actually, the way I handled it, I was commended. And it went in my permanent record on how I handled the problem so that it actually helped me when I went for it helped me when I went when they reviewed my records for promotion. Because what is the first thing you do when you realize that you have deleted over 1,000,000 records, 500,000 records? Well, the first thing you do is probably go to the bathroom and clean your underwear. But after that, you sit down and you think, what am I going to do? Well, first person to call, the production DBA. Because the DBA is the one who has the backups. So you call him, and of course, it's 4:30, 4:45 now at night, in the afternoon. They're on their way home. So his beeper is going to go off, and I have to wait for his call. The second person I call, my wife, and I tell her, I'm not coming home for a while. Third person I call is my manager. And what does the manager say? Do I need to come in? I said, nope. I've got the DBA on call, and I will keep you informed on what's going on. He said, okay. And I got to work. First, I found out exactly what records I had deleted by running some queries so that when the DBA called, I said, these are the records that got deleted. He said, yeah, I don't have a way to undo that. And I said, oh, great, thanks. And he said, but I will pull last night's tape and I can get those records, and I can't put them back in, but I can send a file with those records in them. So he sent me a CSV file with 500,000 records. And I wrote a quick little program to shove it all into the database and thought myself, well, that was simple. And of course it wasn't, because that was definitely an overflow amount for SQL. So I wrote a program that started shoving those records back into the database one at a time. And I calculated I would be there for 2 weeks. So once again, I had to write a new program and get about, I think, 1,000 records, maybe 1,500 was the max that would fit in one SQL statement before I hit an overflow. And it took a good 5 hours because it took a good 5 hours. But we were under the gun a little bit because the mainframe was going to kick off at about 2 a.m. and it would be needing those records. So if I didn't get those records in by then, we were going to have to call the mainframe team and have them postpone the daily run, and the shit would hit the fan. So I made sure that I could get those records in as fast as possible and get it in on time. Now, what that did was give my manager confidence as I kept him updated on about a half-hour basis on how many records were in, how many records were still pending. I had the DBA updated, so he knew what was going on, and I had my wife updated to know how long it would be before I got home. But in the end, what happened was he saw, and his boss saw, that I was a person who, if I screwed up, I didn't go, oh my God, somebody come help me, I don't know what to do. I handled the problem. I might have went into the bathroom and beat up a trash can for a little bit, but I got the things done. And I did it calmly, I didn't require help, and I made them look good knowing that they had personnel that would be able to handle any problem that came up. And of course, maybe a year or so later, some similar problem came up, and with a junior developer, and the junior developer kind of freaked out a little bit, and I'm there. I tell him exactly how to handle it, what to do, how to call, who to call, reassure them. I held his hand through the process, but you know what? He did it all, and he got promoted too. He became a senior level developer right behind me because he knew from my mentoring how to handle a problem. And on other teams, I've seen it many times. Other developers, why the hell did that person become a senior developer? Look at the problem they made. Look at what they did. Look at how they broke something. You know what? It was because they handled it. They didn't go running to mama. They didn't go running to dad. They didn't go into a corner and turn comatose. They handled it in a professional manner, and they didn't do any lasting damage. So the key point to take away here is that if you break something, you fix it. You keep everybody in the loop to make sure they know what you're doing. Don't try to hide it, but they saw how competently you cleaned up after yourself. So we want to get you to that next level. So if you ever do something like I did that looked career-ending, handle it professionally, handle it promptly, and you'll come out smelling better than you did the day before. So this is Adventures in Coding, and we're making sure we can get you to that next level. So if we're helping you in any way, shape, or form, I want you to smash that like button and maybe even subscribe, because we're going to be coming here and telling you exactly what it's like to be a senior developer. From stories in the trenches, we're going to tell you do's and don'ts. We're going to give you history lessons. We're going to tell you ways to become a better developer.